loslegen. Und zwar wurde Deadly Premonition 2 gerade eben im Summer Game Fest angekündigt und geshadowdroppt für den PC. Ich hoffe ja, dass diese Version nicht so wie die Switch-Version seine 60 FPS erreicht, eine schöne Auflösung hat. Denn wenn wir gemeinsam mal in die Einstellungen gucken, wir haben nichts zum Einstellen. Das ist so ein typischer Low-Budget Port, würde ich es mal nennen. Wie schon bei Deadly Premonition 1 wahrscheinlich. Aber das hier startet wenigstens auf dem PC. Und ich hoffe wirklich, dass es hier besser als die Switch-Version läuft, weil die Switch-Version war grottig. Die hat nicht mal die 30 erreicht. Nicht mal 30 FPS. Deswegen habe ich es dort nie gespielt. Und deswegen freue ich mich, dass wir es hier jetzt gemeinsam starten können. Legen wir los, oder? Guten Abend, Dennis. Schön, dass du dabei bist. Ja, ich schaue jetzt auch mal, wie der Port ist. 2 Stunden lang habe ich ja Zeit, das anzutesten, bevor ich mich dann entscheiden muss, ob ich es bei Steam zurückgebe oder nicht. Wir haben gerade eben beim Laden schon gesehen gehabt, dass es leider ein Stück weit hing. Das ist wahrscheinlich die Engine. Aber hoffentlich ist das Ganze...
Quiet down, Agent Jones. You're on the clock.
Quiet down.
Ja, stabiler.
You have any idea
PC.
what you've done? I'd be half naked in Havana right now if you hadn't shown up. Soaking up some rays, surrounded by a harem of bikini queens, a mojito in one hand, and a seafood-slathered Havana-style pizza in the other. What did I do to deserve this? Does God hate me?
No. The regional bureau chief merely issued a special order.
Oh. Yeah. How could I forget? A special order to rob me of my well-deserved vacation.
You want pizza? I'll buy you some pizza. You can find that junk anywhere.
Whoa! Hey! Hold on a minute. What did you just say? Pizza is not junk. Pizza is a sacred food, bestowed upon us by God Himself. You need to apologize right now. This is sheer blasphemy.
Apologize to who? Pizza or God?
Ha ha! You think you're so clever. Maybe if you'd eaten pizza this morning like a decent person, you wouldn't have cut your finger.
I only cut my finger because I couldn't find a left-handed can opener at the hotel. Normally, I would never make such an amateur mistake.
Oh, really? Well, if you want me to get into gear, then just feed me some pizza, okay?
We must act unfaithfully and abandon our ideals again and again. We cannot advance from one period of life into another without causing these pains of treachery.
Nietzsche, again, please spare me, before my ears start to bleed. Ever since the moment you got here, it's been nothing but Nietzsche quotes.
The worst enemy you can meet will always be yourself.
I said knock it off. I prefer pizza to philosophy. Want me to dial the number for you?
Come on, Agent Jones. It's time to get serious. Your 4.5 years of hard work are finally about to pay off, and all you're focused on is this nonsense?
Pizza isn't nonsense.
Okay, wiederholen die sich jetzt gerade?
As you wish, Mother. My lips are sealed. Happy now.
Oh, endlich. Ich komme zum Sprechen. Ganz schön viel Dialog für den kleinen Weg bis zur Haustür. Das Spiel selber. Ich übertrage nun 180p. Ich habe es auf dem 4K-Fernseher. Da ich keine Auflösung einstellen kann, weiß ich nicht, was es nativ ist. Auf jeden Fall habe ich einen FPS-Counter an. Und der zeigt mir konstante 60 FPS bis jetzt. Sollte also stabil sein. Das mit dem Flimmern, das ist jetzt... Sehe ich jetzt ehrlich gesagt nicht. Ich gucke mal, ob ich hier noch ins Menü irgendwie komme. Nee, aktuell nicht. Du kannst das auch nicht mit Maus und Tastatur spielen. Sagen wir das doch mal vorab. Du musst einen Controller anschließen, um das zu spielen. Es hat keine anpassbare Controller-Konfiguration. Ich bin in die Steam-Optionen gegangen, um das ein bisschen anzupassen, sodass ich den A- und B-Knopf tausche, weil ich einen Xbox-Controller habe. Weil auf der Switch ist das ja umgekehrt, dass A bei B und B bei A. Sodass ich hier entsprechend drücken kann, auch wenn da was anderes steht. Und gucken wir mal. Also wenn ich jetzt... Da steht B drücken zum Öffnen. Das ist bei mir jetzt A auf dem Controller, weil ich das halt getauscht habe. Leider nicht in-game. Über die Steam Big Picture Option kann man das machen. Gibt es Anleitungen im Internet. Aber ich würde sagen, sind vielleicht die schwarzen Scanlines. Beobachten wir mal. Gehen wir mal rein.
Agent Jones, don't let him take control of the conversation. The moment you let your guard down, he'll strike.
Ja, ein bisschen Flimmern an den Ohren sehe ich jetzt zum Beispiel. Aber es ist bei Umwelten besser als bei der Switch.
It's open. Come on in.
Ja, also das wird, also so von der Optik her ist das ein simpler Port. Ohne irgendwelche großartigen Verbesserungen, außer wahrscheinlich der Auflösung. Wenn wir Glück haben, ist die Weitsicht ein bisschen besser. Und dass wir mehr FPS haben. Aber ich denke mal, Digital Foundry wird hier einen Vergleich irgendwann dann die nächsten Wochen fahren, sodass wir genauer wissen, was sich getan hat und was nicht. Redman im Hintergrund.
You have questions for us. That's why you're here, isn't it?
Boah, ich habe echt gerade gedacht, das hat sich aufgehangen, so lange wie sie das gezeigt haben. Ja, die größten Sorgen im Moment sind halt noch die technischen Aspekte. Weil der erste Teil halt... Ich habe den auf dem PC gar nicht zum Laufen gebracht. Ich musste ihn dann mir für die Switch holen. Und auf der Switch ist es mir ein paar Mal abgestürzt. Ja, ich sehe es hier an manchen Objekten ist echt Kantenflimmern dran. Aber da kenne ich Schlimmeres.
Mr. Mr. Morgan, before we question you, allow me to first read you your rights. Anything you say may be used against you in a court of law. Please keep that in mind as you speak. Do we have permission to film this?
Don't worry, my fairy. They're free to do whatever they like.
Something wrong, Mr. Morgan? I'm FBI Special Agent Aaliyah Davis, and this is...
Simon Jones. An analyst from the Boston branch. He's been monitoring us for years now.
Oh, hi.
Seriously.
A Southern belle and a lonesome loser who can't catch a break. Quite the uncanny duo. You'd be the perfect stars for the latest video game. Isn't that right, my fairy? How many years has it been since someone came to chat with us? Oh, but don't ask me about my fairy. That's a private matter.
It's hard to tell what he's thinking, but my eyes can't be deceived.
Okay. Wir gehen also jetzt in den aktiven Dialog über im Spiel. Das gibt mir wieder Möglichkeiten, kurz zu reden. Ja, also jetzt hier in den technischen Szenen hat man uns sehr viel gesehen, vor allem hinten bei den Schränken gerade, in der Küche, beim Schwenk, das ganze Flimmern. Aber natürlich wäre es schön, wenn es jetzt perfekt wäre, wenn sie sich ein bisschen mehr Mühe gegeben haben, aber im Moment läuft's. Interessant wird's, ich schätze mal eine halbe Stunde, wenn wir in die Open World dürfen, wie es da läuft.
If he's hiding something, it'll come out in his face. You solved many difficult cases across your career. Utilizing your own unique MO, you've expertly cracked cases that were otherwise thought to be unsolvable. According to our records, after joining the FBI in 2002, you quickly solved 2 drug ring-related kidnapping cases. In 2003, you solved the inside-out flesh skinner case in the suburbs of Pittsburgh. In 2004, the Jeffrey Dahmer wannabe case in Milwaukee. And also the stuffed human collector case in St. Louis that very same year.
Aber das ist schön, dass er so viele Fälle gelöst hat. Das gibt dir immer noch die Hoffnung, dass sie einen 3., 4. Teil machen. Wobei ich jetzt auch nicht weiß, was mich im 2. Teil erwartet, da ich ihn ja nie gespielt habe. Aber es war immer so schön weird. Ich hoffe, dass die die IP im Notfall verkaufen, damit es weitere Teile gibt.
Then,
Aber wenn dieselben Macher nicht dran sind, wird es meistens scheiße.
in 2005, you coincidentally happened to solve the Lise Clarkson murder case while on vacation. You went on to solve many other cases after that, all of them seemingly inexplicable. Did you really solve these cases all on your own? There are no records of you using a wide-scale investigative team or working with anyone else. How did you ever accomplish such monumental feats all by yourself?
It was all thanks to our talented partner.
Partner. The FBI files show no record of you ever working with a partner. Do you mean you worked with some sort of unofficial partner or an outside confidant?
Our partner is our partner. We've always worked together. Besides, Belle, you're forgetting one important thing. After the St. Louis case, we stopped by a diner on our way home and caught Thelma and Louise, two highly sought-after fugitives.
Tutorial Spürsinn. Mithilfe des Spürsinns sind Sie in der Lage, alle möglichen Hinweise im Spiel zu finden. Halten Sie LB, um den Spürsinn zu benutzen. Beim Nutzen des Spürsinns verbrauchen Sie Konzentration. Also mit Bedacht einsetzen. Okay. Habe ich jetzt was falsch verstanden? Ich sehe die zwei doch auch so, ohne einen Spürsinn.
Excuse me, Mr. Morgan, but would you please refrain from consuming that while we speak? I'm talking about... Yes, that.
You don't need to worry about us. Don't get in our way and we won't get in yours.
Unfortunately, questioning doesn't work like that. Our data needs to be consistent. Now please put out that stinking indulgence right this minute.
If we say no.
Then I'll put it out myself, using force.
Whoa, whoa, Aaliyah. This is Morgan's house. Besides, it's legal in Massachusetts for individuals to consume cannabis in the comfort of their own homes. And I mean, come on.
It's medicinal.
Exactly.
Das hört sich fast so an, als ob der es liefert und die beide mal hier und da einen rauchen.
Francis Zach Morgan. He was once an FBI special agent, an extremely talented one. At least that's what they tell me. Perhaps he was a little too talented.
Hey, Belle. Why are you dressed so handsomely?
What are you talking about?
The thick black accessory wrapped around your neck. That's a male necktie. The color black represents confidence and interest in the self. And your decision to wear a male tie symbolizes your declaration of war against a predominantly male society. Or perhaps it's a psychological barrier meant to hide the weakness that dwells deep within your psyche. We admire your bravery.
I thought you retired from profiling.
Bullseye, huh? You're an easy one to read.
In order to think with society, a man must first gouge out his eyes and cut off his ears. Don't judge a book by its cover. For someone who's supposed to have been one of our best, you've got an awful eye for people. Or did all that smoke and kill all your little gray cells?
Okay, Aaliyah, that's enough. She's smart, but she's also more of a shrew than she lets on.
Agent Jones, that's sexual harassment.
So, Belle, does that barrier of yours also protect you from violent criminals?
He's more dangerous than I thought. I can't read him. I'll just have to assault him head on with questions then. First, I'll try using the files on the table to shake him up. Stage 4 progressive malignant tumor. How do humans behave when they know death is just around the corner? And what if that human is also a high-functioning sociopath? An ornate antique chessboard. Looks like he stopped halfway through the game. These files are from the case that took place just outside of New Orleans in 2005. The agent who handled the case was Francis Zach Morgan, and now he's sitting right in front of me.
Ich kann hier nichts anderes drücken. Okay. Ich akzeptiere einfach mal, dass es diese Funktion gibt und jetzt noch nichts bringt. Mit den Akten sollen wir anfangen.
Do you remember the homicides that took place in Le Carré, Louisiana in 2005?
We solved that case.
Your report states the following. By coincidence, you encountered a serious incident in a town you visited while on vacation. You then decided to steal the right to investigate from the local law enforcement and took over the case. After several more homicides, you managed to apprehend the perpetrator.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what happened. We stole the right to investigate from them, just as you said.
It all started when the body of a 16-year-old girl was discovered. You arrived in Le Carré immediately after that, didn't you?
We just can't seem to keep ourselves away from dead girls.
Did you really visit that town just to take a vacation?
We don't know. If you already have the report, then we suggest you read it, Belle. Either way, that case is closed.
Closed. You sure about that? Don't you think this puzzle is still missing some crucial pieces?
Come on. No need to beat around the bush with us, Belle.
They found Lise Clarkson's body. It was hidden deep within the Clarkson Food Delivery Services cold storage warehouse.
After 14 years, we finally discovered the body of the very first victim. Do you know what this means?
Leiche. Reden die jetzt darüber, dass 14 Jahre lang die Leiche eingefroren war, oder was?
That's why we're here. The first victim in the case he solved, Lise Clarkson. This is a photograph of what she looks like now. How will he react when he sees it? The body that went missing for 14 years was suddenly discovered frozen in a warehouse. This is some kind of message. From the
Okay, die Leiche wurde nur dann gefunden. Ja, okay. Ich dachte, 14 Jahre in so einem Eisblock ist die Leiche irgendwo eingefroren gewesen. Die kann ja natürlich auch woanders in einer kleineren Hülle eingefroren gewesen sein. Und später nochmal aufbereitet dann. Verhör.
We're pleased that her body turned up. Deeply pleased.
You claim to have closed this case, but now a lost body suddenly surfaced. Aren't you curious about the details?
Body or not, we already solved that case. Lisa's body can't change anything now. And it certainly has nothing to do with us.
I suspect the body was stored there rather than abandoned, due to the unnatural state it was found in. She was found frozen in a storage unit. Therefore, she looks exactly the same as she did when she disappeared. In fact, she's in such good condition that we can even determine the murder weapon and cause of death.
Well, good for you.
Even stranger is how unbelievably beautiful she looks. At first glance, few would guess she was a murder victim at all. She looks more like a piece of art, or a mythological figure from a painting.
This keeps getting better and better.
Better and better?
Isn't that right, my fairy? A corpse as beautiful as a goddess. Sounds just like our story. Yes. Yeah.
That went okay. Now I'm sure that Morgan's hiding something. I may be able to get what I want if we go deeper into the documents. That chessboard looks rather old. And you can't even buy those ivory pieces anymore.
Right. They were banned by the CITES Treaty.
That was made in France in the 1900s. We know it's in bad taste. But the weight of the ivory just feels so good in our hands.
You play chess alone?
Is that a crime?
No. But it's a hard game to enjoy when you're all by yourself.
He's probably just replicating famous games. Or trying to solve problems from a chess workbook. Right, Morgan? I may not look it, but I'm actually a bit of a chess nut myself. When I was in school, I used to pore over every issue of Chess Life, the magazine published by the U.S. Chess Federation.
Well, unfortunately, your guess is completely wrong, Agent Jones. He isn't replicating a famous game, nor is he solving workbook problems. There isn't a single chess book to be found in this apartment. And I didn't find any chess-related websites in his internet history. He was simply playing chess, all alone.
Ja, ist ein verdammt langes Intro.
So, what's wrong with that, Belle?
I don't understand it. How could a single human being seriously play as both sides?
You just publicly confessed to stealing personal data. Seems like that's a much bigger problem.
Oh no, everything was done in a perfectly legal manner. We simply happened to intercept a handful of data being sent out from an unknown origin.
Oh, now she's really trying to scare us. Did you hear that, my fairy? Serious nightmare fuel.
Gut, wir machen mal mit der Ermittlungsakte weiter,
Isn't
damit
there
wir
someone
vorankommen.
else you should have talked to before coming to us?
We were unable to reach Patricia Clarkson. You look surprised. I thought you already knew. After all, you visited Louisiana last week. We assumed you met with her during your time there.
We haven't been to Louisiana. Not in 14 years.
Is that so?
We've been right here in our apartment this entire time. That man is our witness. Aren't you, Simon?
He's right. He didn't even take a single step outside on Christmas Eve, which means that I didn't get to either.
Are you positive about that? I took the liberty of checking some airline records. Last Friday, the name Billy Bishop was listed on a morning flight out of Boston. This is the fake name you used to use as an agent, isn't it?
A mere coincidence.
Yet that's not all. That evening on the same day, a man with a large scar on his forehead allegedly purchased an '89 Cadillac from a small used car lot in Le Carré. He reportedly said he wanted something old, big, and strong. The owner of the car lot felt it was a strange order, so it stuck in his mind.
Our world is filled with mysteries, and they always have the most bizarre timing.
Incidentally, on the following day, an identical Cadillac was taken to a scrapyard in Trenton, New Jersey.
You can find that type of car anywhere. Isn't that right, my fairy?
Okay. Das Schach hatten wir schon. Jetzt haben wir nur noch das Foto übrig.
You may be wondering why we decided to unearth all these old files.
Everything happens for a reason.
The moment Lise Clarkson's body was found, we did the best we could to start our own local investigation. But there wasn't much we could actually investigate due to the damage caused by the hurricane.
Then we assume you also questioned everyone who worked in the warehouse.
Of course. We questioned all the Clarkson Food Delivery Services employees who staffed the warehouse and its owner. But we still have yet to obtain any key testimonies.
Par for the course with a 14-year-old case, if you ask me.
Not to mention how bad the timing was. Most of the employees were on vacation.
So, you gave up on the investigation and came to see us instead. Remember what happened, my fairy? That warehouse. That man. So incoherent. Such a pain.
Hey, are you talking about the guy who managed the vault where Lisa's body was found? Yeah, I think he started working there in 2005. Remember, Aaliyah? You said he was a pain to deal with, too.
The large man, yes? No need to answer, if you don't want to. I'm sure you've already put him under surveillance. Textbook FBI protocol.
Morgan's right. Everything happens for a reason. Even this messy room. And especially when it comes to those strangely tidy spots. They're practically begging me to question them.
Ach du Schande. Mal gucken, ob wir alles machen müssen, aber fangen wir mal mit der Stelle an.
Mr. Morgan. I found several spots in this room that look strangely clean. Did you tidy up a bit because you knew we were coming?
Those are sanctuaries. They've existed from the start.
Sanctuaries.
That's right. Sacred places. Hovels for pure souls, if you will.
Were there originally objects in those hovels? Something you didn't want us to see?
The soul's still there. We haven't touched a thing. But we know you can't see anything. Hey, Simon. Don't touch the sanctuary.
Sorry.
That's a sanctuary. Don't ever touch it again. You've been watching us for 4.5 years, and you couldn't even figure that much out.
My bad. It's my first time actually coming inside, you know.
You're earning far more than you deserve, then. What were you doing all day in that black Suburban? We thought wiretapping was your specialty. Don't tell me. What do you think, my fairy? 4.5 years. All that time, and what does he have to show for it?
Okay, ich muss immer manuell weiterdrücken. Das geht hier nicht mit dem Autolauf. Deswegen
Crossword puzzles? No way.
überspringe ich es manchmal aus Versehen. Guck mal im Hintergrund. Warum hat er die Milchkästen zusammengeklebt?
Come on, I thought you knew. I'm a Sudoku guy.
Agent Jones.
Oh, right.
He's completely taken control of the conversation. At this rate, we'll never get anywhere. I need to press him some more.
Okay, die anderen Optionen sind jetzt weg. Das heißt, wir haben die Hauptoption wahrscheinlich erwischt.
Agent Jones, did you find the files?
So viel kann er nicht mehr drin haben. Greenvale, das ist das erste Spiel gewesen.
Mr. Morgan, do you recognize these files?
Whoa! Ow! We told you. That's a sanctuary.
Let him go! Assaulting an FBI agent is an obstruction of justice.
We told you. Go. Stay back. Stay back. Sanctuary. Stay back.
Oh, der ist ganz schön verstört.
Ja.
Noch verstörter als im ersten Teil.
Mr. Morgan?
I
cut my finger with that can opener this morning. I thought I stopped the bleeding, but it seeped through. How could I be so stupid? Everything should be fine now. I'm sorry for being so careless. I made sure to read through your file and learn about your condition. The color red. Such an unusual thing to fear. Please, accept my deepest apologies.
I'm sorry too, Morgan. I don't know what I was thinking. I'll never touch one of your sanctuaries ever again. And no more red, either.
Don't ever touch one again.
Das heißt, er hat nichts Rotes in der Wohnung.
Told them not to. Why would they do that?
Now, may we return to our discussion?
Don't worry. I won't let them touch it again. I'll keep them away from us.
Strangely enough, this man has a fear of the color red. And I believe that fear is connected to the Greenvale case.
Gut, das überspringen wir mal. Ich würde gerne mal ins richtige Spiel kommen.
Mr. Morgan, I'd like to ask you some questions about this case now.
We don't want to remember that town.
I'm sorry, but there's no way around this. I remember hearing about this case on the news when I was still a student. A high school girl named Anna Graham was murdered and the FBI stepped in to take over the case. I also remember it becoming a sprawled investigation due to evidence found in the victim's throat. Is that correct? After that case, you went on sick leave for 2 years. And when you returned, you requested to be switched over to desk work. What happened?
That's a private matter. None of your business, Bill.
Were you traumatized? It's a common problem with prolific agents such as yourself. But there's another possibility that may make more sense. Perhaps you simply finished making preparations.
What are you getting at?
Thinking too much about something will always turn it into a problem. The Greenvale case. Don't you think it resembles the Luke Carre case?
Read the report. We have nothing else to say.
I just need one more push. One more thing that can summon up the past.
Okay. Ich fasse mal kurz zusammen, was im ersten Teil mehr oder weniger passiert war. Wer den ersten Teil nicht gespielt hat. Die Sache, wovon sie redet, was man bei den Leichen findet, das waren immer rote Blütenblätter, beziehungsweise Baumblätter. Ja, diese Geschichte mit den Blättern war, wenn man die isst und irgendwie genug isst und Menschen opfert und so ein Kram, wird man unsterblich, unbesiegbar, sozusagen. Das war so ein, ja, wie nennt man sowas? Kultding? Kultmorde, Serienmorde aufgrund dessen, was man im ersten Teil dann gemacht hat. Und leider sind die Leute, die er liebgewonnen hat, im ersten Teil dann gestorben, weshalb er wahrscheinlich dann hier auch diese Versetzung beantragt hat und dann aus ihm das geworden ist, was aus ihm geworden ist. Zudem, wer den ersten Teil noch spielen will, der sollte vielleicht weghören. Beziehungsweise vielleicht erst gar nicht den zweiten Teil hier zuerst sich anschauen. Weil jetzt kommt ein großer Spoiler für den ersten Teil. Die Person, mit der er immer redet, My Fairy, wer das jetzt ist, weiß ich nicht. Im ersten Teil hat er immer mit Zech, ich kann den Namen nicht richtig aussprechen, gesprochen. Das war quasi sein richtiges Ich im Kopf. Er hat ein paar Sachen als Kind gesehen, die ihn dazu veranlasst haben, eine zweite Persönlichkeit zu erschaffen, die dann quasi sein Leben gelebt hat, und seine wirkliche Persönlichkeit hat er im Kopf versteckt und hat dann quasi immer mit ihm so geredet. Ja, und deswegen bin ich mal gespannt, was das jetzt hier mit My Fairy auf sich hat, warum er aus irgendwelchen Gründen in der letzten Woche in Le Car gesehen wurde. Mal gucken. Weil am Ende des ersten Teils tut er seine Persönlichkeit, die er geschaffen hat, zurücklassen und geht als die Persönlichkeit, die die gesamte Zeit quasi im Kopf gelebt hat, übernimmt dann wieder den Hauptkörper und verlässt dann Green Vale, und sozusagen war das der Abschluss. Deswegen alles ein bisschen verwirrend, wo man wieder mit jemand Imaginären redet und wo das Ganze jetzt hinführt.
Mr. Morgan, please look at this.
What did we just say? We don't want to remember Greenvale.
This isn't a photo from Greenvale. Look closely at it. Former Special Agent Francis Zach Morgan. This photograph predates Greenvale. It's from the Lucare case you worked on in 2005.
Red tree.
Yes, a red tree. Greenvale wasn't the first place you saw one of these. The Greenvale case and the Lise Clarkson murder case, they're connected by these red trees, aren't they?
Red trees.
Answer me. What are these trees?
Red trees.
I want the truth. Tell me everything you know.
The red trees. You really did your homework. Well done, Belle. You're good. Damn good.
I want to know what went down in Le Carré in 2005.
Fine. We'll tell you. We'll tell you what happened in that town. Yes. It was that red tree. That red tree ruined my life. It was a sultry summer day. The sun comes down hard on you in the south. like a torrential downpour of demonic whispers. It all started back in that sweltering summer. We still had our best friend with us back then. The other me. My better half.
Wir kommen ins Spiel. Hammerhart.
Never a choice. When somebody needs you, you can't turn away. You're their only lifeline, just a hero, a bullet for hire, working alone. Always a voice, a cry in the darkness, an echo of pain that's been long forgotten, but it haunts me, my destiny, to be alone. There's a time when you see life for what it's gotta be. You should know they'll destroy you. Call to me to keep searching, walk alone.
Das war jetzt schon cool, das Intro. Das Spiel ist ja in Kapitel unterteilt. Wenn jedes Kapitel noch so ein Intro hätte, wäre geil. Hier, Francis York Morgan. Zack.
Zach. Can you hear me, Zach?
Oh, ich muss das extra noch auswählen, die einzige Option. Okay.
There you are, Zach.
Weiterhin konstante 60 FPS bis jetzt. Und die Ladezeiten. Gut, ich habe es auf einer NVMe installiert. Aber hätte ja sein können, dass das engine-mäßig eine Katastrophe ist. Auf der Switch ist es ja ganz gerne bei diesen Ladezeiten hier bei dem Baum immer abgestürzt.
Sleeping again? Well, rise and shine. It's time for us to head back out into the chaos. Isn't that right, Zach?
So langsam könnte man glauben, wir kommen ins Spiel. 2005, Sommer. Die Geländer und alles. Ich glaube, ich werde über den Grafikkartentreiber mal Anti-Aliasing bei der nächsten Session einstellen. Mal gucken, ob das was hilft.
Zach, it looks like she wants us to join her for breakfast. Perhaps this town's finally starting to warm up to us.
Look at that, Zach. She's welcoming us with open arms. She's even willing to share that tasty morsel with us. What an honor.
Na, isst du das jetzt auch?
Hurry up and chow down, mister. Unless you like your breakfast stale.
What an amazing place. I've been on top of the moon since the moment I got here. And the name of this wonderful town, Le Carré, sounds like French to me. But what does it mean?
I'm the chef, David. If you want to know about the town, you'd better ask the concierge. Only amateur chefs flap their gums about stuff that ain't food related.
Did you hear that, Zach? He's a true professional.
You say something, mister?
No, not to you. I was just talking to Zach.
Zach?
Please don't ask me about Zach. It's a private matter.
If you say so, still. Never thought the FBI would ever come out to a little old town like ours.
I do work for the FBI, but I didn't come here for an investigation. I just happened to stop by on my way to New Orleans.
Never thought there'd be a murder out here either. And it was a 16-year-old kid. Now I tell you, this country's seen better days. What you reckon, mister?
Zach, he's definitely a professional, but it seems like he's also a bit lonesome. That's good. Ambivalence exists everywhere.
Sag das
Folks
einfach
say the
frei
killer
raus.
used an axe. Hell of an old-fashioned choice if you ask me.
Actually, Chef David, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the incident.
But shoot, I ain't the one you ought to be asking, Mr. FBI. I only heard what I heard. But seeing as you're fixing to grill me, I can tell you what I know.
Please do. I appreciate it. You said the victim was a 16-year-old. Did you know her?
Well, sure. I reckon the whole town did.
Meaning?
She's Lise Clarkson, the little grandbaby of the Clarkson family.
The Clarkson family?
That's right. You ain't seen they sign on your way in here? The one above that huge cold storage complex. Should have had a dragonfly on it. Anyway, that's the Clarkson family seal. They own most of the land around here, from the sugar plantations right down to the food processing plant. Yeah, I reckon they got a stake in just about everything. They even own the water tower on the edge of town, you know. They're the ones who built up this town, and they still support it.
What do you know about the Clarksons' house?
Now, I ain't got nothing bad to say, but I'm gonna talk straight to you. You best steer clear of that place. That family ain't just some gang. They're a whole different kind of beast. They folks with real power. Remnants of the good old boys who shaped America in the early days. Especially the head of the family, P.J. Clarkson. He's the kind of monster who goes around eating other monsters. And I'm sure he's on edge now with his granddaughter getting murdered and all. So don't go barging in with that shiny FBI badge of yours and think you'll be safe for nothing. Things are different down here. So if you plan on sticking around, you best remember that.
I see. I'll keep that in mind. Is the local law enforcement investigating the case?
Shoot, mister, what you think? Now, I told you this ain't no city. We in the bonafide boondocks here. They got to know how to break up fights and keep folks from killing each other when they pissed you off. They sit down and talk it out with you heart to heart, and when that don't work, they just beat your ass. That's the Deep South for you. This murder ain't like that, though. A little kid got killed. A weird way. Like something on a TV show. The sheriff's department ain't never seen nothing like this.
Live and Let Die, Angel Heart, and The Pelican Brief, right? 9 out of 10 people will name those titles when you ask them to think of a film set in New Orleans. They're all excellent movies, but to me they lack realism. Due to my line of work, I have a tendency to think deeply about what feels real and what doesn't.
What's your point?
Cat People. That's my point. Cat People. 1982, directed by Paul Schrader. The crowning achievement of Nastasia Kinski, the ultimate muse of the 80s. The most vital element of that movie is the reality it depicts. Leopards who turn into humans have intercourse with humans and turn back into leopards. Then they can only turn back into humans again if they mutilate their lovers. I was awestruck by the sheer reality of it all. Understand? I'm talking about hyper-realism. After watching it, I felt like I just had to experience the world of cat people for myself. That's why I decided to visit New Orleans.
Der alte Filmliebhaber.
Okay.
Another vital element of Cat People is the presence of Malcolm McDowell. Malcolm McDowell from Blue Thunder. Oh, talk about a masterpiece. Listen carefully, David. Only an amateur would call A Clockwork Orange his best movie. His best movies are Cat People and Blue Thunder. Period.
Interessant, dass das fliegende Auge da hieß, obwohl er Blue Thunder sagt. Ist das fliegende Auge also der deutsche Filmname davon?
You need to remember this, because it's the truth.
Whatever you say, mister.
Soweit ich weiß, redet und philosophiert er über echte Filme aus der echten Welt, also nichts Erfundenes aus irgendeinem Deadly Premonition Universum.
So, what's your point again?
Never mind, don't worry about it. I already covered all the important parts. When you say it was like something from a TV show, what exactly do you mean?
Hey, mister. Why do you look so excited, huh? Like a kid asking grandma to read him a fairy tale.
I just can't seem to keep myself away from young women who died in bizarre ways.
Well, I ain't seen it with my own eyes, but folks say they found the body hanging under a bridge on the bayou. And under that bridge, there was some kind of altar.
An altar?
Like something they use in black magic. Something horrible.
Voodoo?
Nah, wasn't nothing like that. Just a weird altar.
That's all?
Oh, and the body was all cut up in pieces, scattered around the altar like.
So she was sacrificed?
That's what the fella who discovered her said, yeah.
Bingo, Zach. This case has got our names all over it.
By the way, Mr. FBI, I ain't seen a car in the parking lot. How'd you get all the way out here, huh? Don't tell me you walked.
Well, that's a very good question. Chef David, you've got a sharp eye. It's true that I didn't park my car in your parking lot. Do you know why?
Can't say I do.
Because it was stolen.
Dem FBI-Agenten wurde das Auto gestohlen, sehr gut.
Huh? But you with the FBI, right?
Even FBI cars can be stolen. It could happen after you park your car on the side of the road and go off to do some legwork. When you're eating lunch, when you're watching a movie, when you're asleep at night, when you're buying cigarettes at the local supermarket. Your car can be stolen anywhere. In my case, my car was stolen while I was on my way down here. But no need to worry. I already reported it to the local authorities. And I've also already acquired another mode of transportation.
Another mode?
Want to hear the details?
Not really. But I'll listen if you want me to.
Then please do. After I finished my work in Houston, I flew to New Orleans. Then, I rented a car at the airport. Whenever I visit the West Coast, I always rent a convertible, especially in California. But now I'm in hot and sticky Louisiana. So, I decided on a brand new, hybrid car.
A hybrid car.
Oh yes, they're marvelous. Vehicles that utterly defy everything you think you know about cars. Now, in the year 2005, it feels like we've finally entered the 21st century. Stomp down on the gas all you want. The engine won't make a sound.
It's silent?
At first, I felt like the landscape was moving past me on its own. Give it a few more years, and I'm sure we'll start seeing cars that run purely on electricity. And who knows? In a decade or so, electric sports cars may end up lining the parking lots of Silicon Valley. I can see it now. It's the world of The Last Starfighter, 1984, directed by Nick Castle. It's famous for being the first film to utilize realistic CG, but I couldn't care less about that. See, I was mesmerized by the beautifully refined mech designs. It even made me wish that I could be one of them myself.
Der schwenkt immer weiter ab von den ursprünglichen Sachen.
Especially the Gunstar spacecraft. No other sci-fi movie has ever had.
So, where'd your hybrid car get stolen?
Okay, zum Glück. Dem ist es auch aufgefallen.
Sorry, I got off topic. I noticed it was missing after I finished my lunch and walked out of the diner. Incidentally, this diner was located at the entrance to a small town just south off the I-10. I went out to get back in it, but my hybrid car was nowhere to be found. I remembered exactly where I parked it. Right between. But when I came back from lunch, it had completely vanished. In short, someone stole it. And in its place, they left me this.
What?
Skateboard.
A skateboard.
A skateboard?
Ja, ein Skateboard.
Yes. While I was sliding my lunch into my stomach, someone was busy replacing my brand new hybrid car with a wooden board attached to 4 wheels.
Das ist doch Unsinn. Keiner klaut ein Auto und hinterlässt ein Skateboard. Es ist natürlich klar, dass das Auto in ein Skateboard verwandelt wurde. Weil das braucht ja noch weniger Treibstoff. Das ist am umweltfreundlichsten.
Remarkable, don't you think?
So then how did you get here?
By riding the skateboard, obviously. No, I couldn't ride the board very well at first. But by the time I hit the 3-mile mark, I'd more or less gotten the hang of it. By the 10-mile mark, I'd even learned to do a few tricks. It was a journey of self-discovery. Not even I knew I had this latent talent sleeping inside me.
Der sieht am allen echt das Positive.
This summer's gonna be another hot one. It's supposed to get over 95 today. Watch out you don't go getting heat stroke.
The Lise Clarkson case needs us. Don't you think so, Zach? The cat people are what guided us to New Orleans. We should be thanking Malcolm McDowell. Once we get home, let's watch Blue Thunder again. I'm already looking forward to it. Zach. The searing light. These scents. It's the deep south.
Oh, dürfen wir uns gleich
That was a
bewegen?
fabulous breakfast. You're the world's greatest chef.
Gut, dass er so viel gegessen hat davon.
Wait, mister. You didn't take a single bite.
Ach, sehr schön.
The tea was to die for. But I'd prefer coffee next time. What would a morning be without coffee?
Oh, das Kantenflimmern ist echt schlimm. Ich muss das echt im Grafikkartentreiber mal aktivieren, mal gucken, ob das was bringt. Machen wir heute die Erfahrung, wie es mit Kantenflimmern aussieht, das nächste Mal hoffentlich ohne. Okay. Wir dürfen uns hoffentlich jetzt mal bewegen. Tatsächlich, wir dürfen. Ist das krass? Schaut euch diesen schnuckligen Kerl an. Ist das ein FBI-Agent? Wir sollten uns aber mal anziehen. Ich hätte jetzt nicht gedacht, dass er mit einem Pyjama hier in den Speisesaal geht und sich auf die Terrasse hockt. Aber gut. Gibt es ein Menü? Das ist eine gute Frage, ob jetzt ein Menü da ist. Also mit Start kommen wir nur hier auf die Quest. Mit Select passiert gar nichts. Tutorial, roter Baum. Im roten Baum stehen Ihnen folgende Menüs zur Auswahl. Okay. Ja, das ist hier das Menü. Erinnere ich mich dran, das war ja sehr abstrakt. Achso, ich muss wechseln. Einstellungen, so, Optionen. Nee, es gibt hier keine Grafikoption. Das ist alles, was wir haben im Spiel. Jo. Und im Controller-Menü haben wir nur die Auswahl zwischen verschiedenen ja, Einstellungen anscheinend, wie man hier spielen könnte. Und ich sehe gerade, ich kann hier jetzt, dass man hier wechseln kann, ist mir vorher gar nicht aufgefallen. Aber interagieren, nachladen, beschleunigen ist immer auf B. Das ist ein bisschen nervig. Ja, leider nichts da. Hier kommen wir ins Hauptmenü, da haben wir auch nur dieselben Optionen. Informationen, Lekare, Spürsinn, okay. Oh, können wir gar nicht mitreden. Ja, sehr schade, dass es hier nichts weiter gibt. Aber die 60 FPS hält es bis jetzt. Alter, was für ein Frühstücksbuffet. Wie viele Leute residieren denn hier in diesem Hotel? Ja, also die Auflösung hier wird maximal in Full HD berechnet. Wenn überhaupt. Oh, er kann sogar gehen. Echtzeitberechnung, schaut euch das an. Das ist der sauberste Spiegel der Welt, deswegen haben wir so ein klares Bild. Aber das ist ein Feature, wo ich einfach nicht verstehe, warum sie das reinbringen. Jetzt auf dem PC, okay, aber auf der Switch läuft das ja katastrophal schlecht. Und sowas benötigt immer sehr, sehr viel Rechenleistung.
Sang Rouge. We've been chasing it all over America. But I feel like we're finally on the verge of finding something now. I think it's about time we ordered a new briefcase. Yes, I know this one carries a lot of memories, but it's seen too much.
So Dinger kann man noch restaurieren im Laden.
This hole's from the shootout in Tucson. Miami. Now that Billy, our perp, cut his own torso right in two. Even with the help of the drugs. A feat like that still requires incredible mental fortitude. I was so impressed that I forgot I'd left my briefcase on the floor. Same floor his blood gushed out onto.
Ja, schade, so Erinnerungen, die will man
I know,
garantiert
Zach, I know
wegwerfen.
now
Ne?
isn't the time for a trip down memory lane. An emergent drug that's been on the rise in 4 southern states. Personally, I think it originated right here in Louisiana, and Lise Clarkson's murder must be connected to it somehow. The 16-year-old girl who was murdered. Her body was found beneath a bridge over the bayou, along with a strange altar.
Was ist das bitte für ein rotes X auf dem Foto? Wie ist denn das gezeichnet? Das ist doch nicht mit einem Stift gemalt. Guck doch mal diesen einen Tropfen, der da nach rechts weg geht.
The powerful man who essentially controls the town of Lucare. And he seems to be more fearsome than your average gangster. I doubt he'll be willing to cooperate with any law enforcement, Zach.
Erste Mission geschafft.
You know, I keep thinking about that movie we stopped to see on our way here, Zach. The Island, 2005, directed by Michael Bay. For a movie being shown at a cinema complex, it was surprisingly artistic. An experimental setting mixed with hard-hitting drama. It was art house sci-fi. That director's going to change the history of art house films. Are you following me here? This is another special film that's setting a new standard, just like Star Wars and Blade Runner did. This is a turning point, Zach. You may be witnessing the birth of a vital new word that will soon become a part of film history. Yes, this single movie may be responsible for creating a whole new genre several years down the line, a genre known as island movies. I sure like the sound of that. Don't...
Sehen Sie nach, wer an der Tür ist. Okay, hier wird wahrscheinlich dann alles ergänzt, was wir so an Ermittlungen machen. RB, aber wir können hier nichts mitmachen, okay? Okay, weitere Informationen kriegen wir hier nicht, wenn wir hier uns das angucken, aber wir können es uns ein bisschen näher angucken. Klamottentasche. Warum ist hier mitten im Zimmer? Was ist das? Ist das ein Schrein? Ich meine, das steht ja auf dem Tisch. Ja, gehen wir mal an die Tür. Der Koch ist da.
Hey there, Chef. What's cooking?
Chef, what are you talking about, sir? I'm the concierge, David. I just heard from our chef that you wish to learn the meaning behind our town's name.
Yes, I've gathered that Lucare is French, but does it have any special meaning?
Why, yes, sir, of course it does. A very clear, logical meaning. All names have meanings. Would you like to know what this one means?
Yes, I would.
Jolly good, sir. Then allow me to explain. Lucare means square in French.
Ah. And
that's it.
that's it?
Yes, that's it, sir. Do take a gander at the town map in the lobby if it fancies you. It's beautiful, valuable, and old.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll understand once you see it. Now, please excuse me, sir. If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to ask.
Did you see that, Zach? That was clearly David. Not a twin, not a split personality, just the work of a true professional. It's bizarre, but I can understand it. Remember what they say, the job makes the man.
dass der überhaupt Verbrecher finden kann. Der muss doch auch an Morden und alles Mögliche nur das Positive sehen. Und irgendwie sagen, ja, ist doch wunderhübsch, ist doch alles gut. Die Anzahl der Gegenstände, die sie in ihren Etui bei sich tragen können, ist begrenzt. Im Koffer können sie Gegenstände vorübergehend verstauen und bei Bedarf wieder an sich nehmen. Das Verstauen und Herausnehmen von Gegenständen ist jedoch nur dort möglich, wo sich ein solcher Koffer befindet. Wählen Sie also stets mit Bedacht, was Sie in der jeweiligen Situation benötigen und bei sich tragen sollten. Okay. Also wir haben hier aus irgendeinem Grund sehr viel Zeug schon mit dabei, was wir an uns nehmen könnten. Aber wir haben auch irgendwie... Alter, wie viel Schuss haben wir denn dabei? 200 Schuss? Und hier haben wir auch noch mal ein Päckchen. 250 Schuss. So, rasieren wir uns mal. Tada! Ich glaube, wir mussten auch duschen gehen in dem Spiel hier, weil wir sonst anfangen zu stinken. Okay, da ist ein Telefon, wahrscheinlich von Zimmerservice. Okay, passt erstmal. Ach, sieh mal an, RB. Ach, RB. R2 bzw. RT ist der Angriff. Ermittlerauge. Ach, guck mal, damit können wir durch Wände gucken und so ein Kram.
Do you feel that, Zach? Dozens of paintings no one will ever see. The faint scent of tobacco baked into these walls for over a century. Now that's what I call a hotel. Zach, can you see him? His fashion sense is beyond me, but he appears to be a gentleman. Perhaps we should talk to him.
Mach ich immer. Ich rede immer mit Gemälden. Also langsam glaube ich, bis wir wirklich losspielen können, haben wir unsere 2 Stunden
Nice
voll,
tie.
oder?
Did you buy it here?
It's been a long time since someone spoke to me. No one these days ever tries to see me.
They can see what's far in the distance, but are blind to what's in front of them. No. Maybe they're only pretending not to see. That's what civilized society does to people.
Exactly. Ever since mankind got their hands on civilization, they zoomed away at a frightening speed.
Zoomed away from what?
Don't be a fool. You know the answer. As for me, just call me Hoongan.
Hoongan. The title given to a leader in a certain religion. Is that what you are?
Ja, das ist völlig normal. Ich muss nicht zum Arzt.
Oracle.
The Oracle. Put on your religion hat, Zach. Here we go.
Fell 10 maidens in the shrine of hunger. Find the flying serpent in the ambiguous zero. Dance with the flying serpent.
and you will glimpse the other world.
10 maidens and an ambiguous 0. Got it. But what do you mean by otherworld?
Follow the oracle.
Zach, did you hear all that? Looks like we've already taken our first step into chaos. But such is our duty. We need to accept the chaos, let it inside, then carefully dismantle it piece by piece. And after we've put all the pieces back into their rightful places, the truth will reveal itself. Let's capture the truth and present it with a shiny pair of silver bracelets, Zach.
Also es ist schon schön in Szene gesetzt, das ganze Spiel. Also Kameraführung, wie man Sachen darstellt und so weiter. Ich hoffe, wir können jetzt... Ach, guck mal, überall was zum Ansprechen. Ich hoffe, wir können jetzt gleich raus und mal die Open World ausprobieren.
Zach, here's another perfect symbol of the human condition. And it's a buffalo hunting trophy. Now that's a surprise. I've seen several trophies made out of human skin, but never a buffalo's.
Ich habe schon mehrere Trophäen aus menschlicher Haut gesehen, aber noch keine von einem Büffel. Alter Schwede, der treibt sich in den falschen Gegenden
Looking
rum.
at him brings out this strange feeling from within me. Yes, the very same feeling I got when watching a certain film from 1984, directed by Peter Hyams. 2010. The last scene in that film filled me with such a sublime, majestic feeling. It was filled with everything that was missing from the finale of 2001: A Space Odyssey. Just talking about it makes me want to watch it again. Let's watch it once we get home. Promise.
Hat er gerade 2010 gesagt, aber spielt es nicht in 2005? Oder habe ich das falsch gelesen? Hier, der Stadtplan, den wir uns angucken sollten.
Zach, this is Lucare. I think I'm finally starting to understand what our concierge was trying to say. You can tell this town was built by a very methodical person. No, wait. Maybe they just didn't care, and that's why it ended up this way. It's just another symbol of mankind's obsession with molding nature to fit our own rules.
Okay, Quest erfüllt. Karte freigeschaltet.
Zach, what did you think of Hungun's oracle? Despite all the dramatic build-up, it's little more than a childish riddle. Heartwarming, really. Exactly the kind of feeling one gets from the good old-fashioned countryside. Now let's start by tracking down those 10 maidens. The oracle gave us a place and an act. We need to go to the Shrine of Hunger and fell 10 maidens. Now where in this town can one satiate their hunger? The hotel and where? And the 10 things that need to be knocked down. Simple, right? The answer is bowling. The shape of the bowling pin was based on the feminine form. The 10 maidens are the 10 pins.
Wow.
But a place where someone can both eat and bowl at the same time. I'm skeptical as to whether we'll be able to find such a place in a backwoods town like this.
Also, der Park wird es nicht sein, die Polizeiwache wird es nicht sein, das Casa Pineapple sind wir, also Restaurant Alexus oder Memorial Oak Street, also das Restaurant hier, ne?
Alexis's Diner and Lane. This is it, Zach. There are even pins and a bowling ball on the sign.
Ja, danke für die Info wegen den 2 Stunden, wegen Zurückgeben. Ich hoffe, dass wir jetzt rauskommen aus dem Spiel. Ich habe absolut keine Ahnung, wie lange wir jetzt schon machen.
I bet we'll be able to eat some Cajun cuisine
Aber
and
dir noch
bowl
einen schönen
there.
Abend.
Maybe even both at the same time. Nice job, Zach. I knew you. Now for the other oracle. There's no flying serpent on this map. Could it be a contrail or perhaps a dragon? First, let's just figure out where we need to go. Do you know what the ambiguous 0 represents? 0 is usually treated as a base number, but under what conditions would a base number be ambiguous? The answer is temperature, Zach. Yes, 0 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 17.7 degrees Celsius, and 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more ambiguous 0 than that. The Clarkson Food Delivery Services Cold Storage Warehouse. That's got to be it. Even with this blazing sun in the sky, they can easily keep the temperature below freezing. Be honest now, Zach. You knew the answer from the very start, didn't you?
Ach, das ist so schön, wie er mit sich selbst redet, sozusagen. Und wir haben $15 dafür bekommen.
And how about that Hoongan? What a mysterious character. His oracles may end up determining how much time we spend in this town.
Sorry, boss, but this is a smoke-free hotel. If you're dying to smoke, head out the entrance and you'll find a smoking area in the rear parking lot.
Ach, ist gut. Der hat schon wieder eine neue Jobrolle
At your
angenommen.
service, boss.
Are you good friends with the concierge and the chef?
We work at the same place, yeah. But, I can't really say whether we're good friends with each other. We're all professionals, though. Nothing more, nothing less.
I believe we've struck gold here, Zach. It just screams deep south. Actually, no, it doesn't. This is all his charm. So, if I want to smoke, I should go out the entrance and around to the rear parking lot?
Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay. I'll play by your rules.
Ach, sehr gut. Mal gucken, wo wir dem noch begegnen werden. Es ist jetzt zu witzig, dass ein und dieselbe Person hier irgendwie alle Rollen erfüllt.
Hey, boss. How can I be of service?
Ein richtig nettes Hotel haben sie hier, David. Danke, Monsieur. Ist unser ganzer Stolz. Das glaube ich gern. Persönlich bin ich ja ganz stolz aufs Klo im Erdgeschoss. Haben Sie schon gesehen? Die Deko ist von mir. Wenn nicht, sollten Sie unbedingt mal einen Blick reinwerfen. Ach ja, und die Duschen hier sind auch nicht von schlechten Eltern. Was meinen Sie? Na, weil wir hier in den Südstaaten sind. Und wenn man so viel schwitzt wie wir, hat man seine Dusche auch gerne mal etwas strammer. Das klingt ja ausgezeichnet. Ich werde mich gleich heute Abend davon überzeugen. Okay, gehen wir mal raus. Wir wollen ja jetzt mal in die Open World. Oh, leichtes Ruckeln drin. Aber es kommt weiter. Bin mal gespannt, ob das Spiel uns einmal abstürzt oder nicht. Oh.
Compared to non-smokers, smokers have a 4.7 times greater chance of getting lung disease. You know that means it's more likely than getting asbestos poisoning?
The risk of death from lung cancer is actually much lower than what you think it is. In fact, it's tiny when compared to heart disease, strokes, and pneumonia. We're always surrounded by easy ways to die, you know. Some people even get randomly struck by lightning and die right there on the spot.
Then I reckon you also know that secondhand smokers have 1.3 times greater the risk compared to smokers?
Of course.
So you won't mind paying the damages when I die of lung disease? How about writing that in a contract for me? You got a pen, right?
Sie lässt nicht locker.
I promise to protect you from all the evil in our world. Well, that's stupid. By the way, what's your name?
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, just call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
Is something wrong with you? Adults ain't supposed to act like that. I only asked for your name so I can write it on the contract. You should have been able to figure that out if you're a real FBI agent like you said. Come on, sign here. Right here on the paper.
Just as I thought, Zach. This contract paper, it's a Sang Rouge wrapper. Sang Rouge is here, too. This must mean that Sang Rouge is connected to the Lise Clarkson murder case somehow. This is a sprawling case that spread across the entire South. It's within our jurisdiction, Zach. We'll need to steal the right to investigate from the local authorities at once. By the way, miss, what's your name?
Patricia Woods. But I gotta write my name myself, or else it won't be a real signature.
Tell me, Patricia, does this town have a sheriff? Or is it under the jurisdiction of the nearest city police?
Perfect timing. Well, go on and steal it if you want it. I was just thinking about how this is way out of my daddy's league.
Thank you for the information, Patricia. Okay, Zach, it's time to get to work. How should we seize control from the sheriff this time?
Okay. Der tut wirklich die Jobs, also die Fälle den Polizeistationen klauen. Sprinten, duckeln, ausweichen. Bei gezogener Waffe, okay. Kamera bewegen, Nahkampf. Roten Baum betreten. Ja, gib mir mal einen Moment. Ich will hier jetzt mal... ...60 FPS weiterhin. Skateboard. Auf Absteigen, Beschleunigen, Bremsen. Okay. Autsch.
My daddy's still in... I thought you were gonna steal the right...
Okay, okay, ist ja gut. Ich wollte ja nur mal so eine Testfahrt machen. Er ist weg. Shit. Erster Bug. Sehr gut. Jetzt wisst ihr, was ihr nicht tun dürft. Oder ist er vielleicht auf der anderen Seite? Nee.
Hey, you. You ain't secretly cutting kids up and sticking them into jars while you work as an FBI agent on the surface, are you? Or using your FBI connections to sell kids to child trafficking organizations?
I've arrested people who've done both, but I've never engaged in either of those activities myself. Of course, I have imagined doing such things in order to learn more about the psychology of the criminals I deal with.
Gut, dass du es dem Kind erzählst, ne? Was geht's dem Kind? Was geht's sie an?
It was just a joke. Why are you getting all serious? And don't tell me what you imagine, or else I'll get scared of you for real. Hey, can I come with you? You signed a contract with me, remember? And besides, I'm kind of worried about my daddy.
Do whatever you like. This is America, land of the free. But I have one condition.
What condition?
Don't ask me about Zach. It's a private matter. Zach, it feels like she's carrying something with her. Kind of reminds me of you back when we first met. I can't leave her alone like this. You feel the same way, don't you?
Okay, haben wir jetzt also was geskippt, weil der Wagen stand jetzt nicht mehr da. Okay. Oh, Poppins. Ach, ich habe Stamina unterm HP-Balken. Ich habe mich gerade gewundert, warum. Wieso,
Melvin
weshalb?
called you a strange name. CLG, I think. What exactly does that mean?
Okay, jetzt bin ich hier durchgegangen und nu? Okay, ich dachte, es verschwindet dann. Also 60 FPS werden gehalten. Wir gehen jetzt nochmal aufs Skateboard. Einfach nur, um mal ein bisschen mehr Gas zu geben und hier mal durch die Gegend zu fahren. Okay, wir haben immer noch die... Also da haben sie nichts großartig am Spiel verbessert. Klar, die Renderauflösung ist wahrscheinlich Full HD. Sonst würde es hier viel mehr flimmern. Aber die Poppins sind drinne. Jo. Aber schön ist ja 60 FPS. Bis jetzt keine Abstürze, kein unnötiges Ruckeln. Das sieht gut aus. Okay. Die Frage ist natürlich jetzt, wie speichert man überhaupt in dem Spiel? Was war schon jetzt sehr lange und ich würde gerne einfach mal abspeichern. Vielleicht im Notizbuch? Ne, Ziele, Fortschritte. Karte, Etui. Kann ich Gegenstände benutzen oder wegwerfen? Ich kann nicht mehr als 30, okay. Personalien, Inventar, Stempel. Diagramm. Handbuch. Nicht gespeicherter Fortschritt geht verloren. Nein. Ja, aber wie speichere ich denn? Das wäre ja die Hauptfrage erstmal. Kannst mir doch jetzt nicht... Warte mal, wie war das im alten Spiel? Telefonzellen waren das im alten. Wow, ein NPC. Das gibt's ja nicht. Die Stadt hat Bevölkerung. Boah, Stamina ist so schnell leer. Das ist ja kein Spaß. Guckt euch das mal an. Ich renne 10 Meter, mein Stamina ist leer. Oh, sieht die grimmig aus. Guck mal hier. Ein Luftballon. Schade. Oh, Gott sei Dank. Wir hatten ja nicht einen Speicherstand. Und Autospeichern habe ich zwar an, aber wer weiß, wann der zum ersten Mal Auto gespeichert hat. Sicherheitshalber gehen wir jetzt hier nochmal ran. Guck mal, keine Daten, keine Daten. Hier, manuell, warum ist der ganz nach unten gerutscht? Nehmen wir mal ganz oben ab. Der packt das ganz nach unten. Okay. Okay. Cool. War ein ziemlich langes Intro jetzt. Und ja, Was soll ich noch sagen? Es läuft flüssig, bis jetzt kein Absturz. Das ist schon mal positiv in dem Spiel. Vor allem da ja, das erste Spiel auf Steam, was ich habe, gar nicht startet auf dem PC. Die Switch-Versionen vom ersten Teil auch abgestürzt sind und schlechte Performance hat. Die zweite Version habe ich jetzt gar nicht angefangen, weil sie das nie weiter gepatcht haben. Das hat nicht mal die 30 FPS auf der Switch. Deswegen bin ich umso mehr verwundert, dass es auf dem PC jetzt so flüssig läuft. Und ich gucke mir noch an, ob das mit den Grafikkartentreibern, da kann man ja auch einstellen, dass hier eine Kantenklettung aktiv sein soll, zumindest bei Nvidia. Das will ich mal versuchen fürs nächste Mal, damit wir hier ein bisschen mehr Kantenklettung drin haben. Weil wenn wir uns hier so ein bisschen umschauen, ne, dann sehen wir es überall flimmern, an den Fenstern vor allem. Vielleicht kriegen wir das dann raus. Ich würde sagen, bis dahin. Warte mal, wie habe ich das mit der Kamera gerade hinbekommen? Ist das einfach, weil ich mich nicht bewegt hatte? Egal. Ich bedanke mich fürs Einschalten. Wir schauen uns das Spiel die Tage weiter an. Ich werde es nicht zurückgeben. Das läuft ja. Finde ich sehr gut. Freut mich. Und dann können wir dieses kurios abstrakte Abenteuer zusammen erleben. Ich würde sagen, dann bis zum nächsten Mal, ne? Und schönen Abend euch noch. Macht's gut. Bye, bye.